Yeah, see, yeah, they were good. It happened a couple months ago in the second row. Pretty close, yeah. In about 5 minutes, we're going to have a little ceremony here. And I hope everybody's in the mood to have a little party. Yeah. We all in a good mood? Yeah. We don't need any more snow. No. A week ago, the forecast for today was the S word. Anyway, keep talking, and 5 minutes, we'll be having fun. Okay, ready? Good. Please rise for the bride. Who gives this woman to be wed on this day? I do. Very well. All right. Come on over here. Sit down. Come on over here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. That was good. For a second. Let's do that again. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah. Please relax, be seated. Welcome to Al and Catherine's big day. I think we have the good luck thing covered. Yeah. Bring on the wedding day, yeah, it's the good luck thing. And
That's what they say.
Happy Pi Day. I don't know if you would plan that around this, and not being a mathematician, something about circumference and radius and 3.14. So here we are, March 14th. Testing. Move on forever. Circle. We'll get into the circle things too. I'm Stephen Mitchell, Justice of the Peace from the neighboring state in Connecticut, here on special license. The theme for today, and I declare it, is love. And the world needs more of it, don't you think? You know, I mean, just like, hold that. And I was thinking about this wedding this week, and inspiration comes from strange places sometimes. Dearborn, Michigan, home of Ford World Headquarters. And I don't know if you've ever read the book about Moali and taking over Ford, and I got to hear from his successor, and when he was talking about the changing the course of Ford, and Mark Fields is his name, and he shared with us a few thoughts with me and said they were not really in that book. And Alan Mullally's theory was love. And usually you don't get that from car guys, you know, in Michigan, like horsepower, but not really love, you know. But it was really true in everything that we do. Love, it just is better with love. So kind of interesting thought there. But I remember when I fell in love with Al. Please don't take that the wrong way. And meeting Catherine last year on the Wiki Year tour, and you know, it's just that fun, characteristic enthusiasm that Al, Catherine kind of approach every day. And they've stood the test of time. They've been on their bicycles for a week. So that's it. So, and one of my favorite expressions from Al and my wife Susan and I often use this. This is my new favorite trail. And on the trail of life, you're about to be, soon to be on, what could be your new favorite trail. And you know, there's actually one trait that Al and I share. It's sometimes we have this goal, we have this thought. Sometimes we put the cart before the horse. My wife and I are kind of horsey people. And what I'm about to say is an example of that from Al. We are gathered here today to witness and celebrate one of life's greatest moments, in joining of two hearts. In this ceremony today, we will witness the joining of Al and Catherine in marriage. When Al and Catherine met, it was love at first sight. They felt an instant connection and were soon inseparable. On a beautiful spring day last year, Al suggested a short detour from their usual path through Bradley Palmer Park, right over there, and Al took Catherine here to Wildale. Catherine thought it was just a point of interest, kind of a cool place. But Al was intending to look at this place as a wedding venue. Okay, so he just neglected to mention that. They were greeted by the staff, by a staff member who asked them if they wanted a tour, or if they had an event in mind, and Al responded, "We wanted to look at it for our wedding." Catherine was so surprised she couldn't speak. She just listened to Al, the salesman, discussing pricing and availability. Catherine named her joy. She went to work the next day and said to her friends, "I think I'm getting married." Al needed to ask for a little extra time before securing the date with a deposit. The salesman understood. he told her, I haven't proposed.
Had to make sure she said yes.
I know. As I said, sometimes the cart before the horse, and you know what? You just gotta make things happen, and you figure it out, right? And put it together. There we go. In marriage, the little things are the big things. It is never being too old to hold hands. It is remembering to say, "I love you," at least once a day. Or the modern versions, you can text. It is never going to sleep angry. It is standing together and facing the world. It is speaking the words of appreciation and demonstrating gratitude in thoughtful ways. It is having the capacity to forgive and forget. It is giving each other an atmosphere in which to grow. It is a common search for the good and the beautiful. It is not only marrying the right person, it is being the right person for that. It is being the right partner for that person. Good partners. A partnership. Anybody out there that's married, it's a partnership. It certainly is. Oh, and at this time, I'm going to have Catherine, and she'd like to share a few thoughts. You know, that or this?
I have 4-inch heels.
Okay.
Today, I am not only becoming a wife, but a stepmother as well. You and Elsa. I value this role more than you could know. A stepmother is an extra person to rely on, to love you, support you, and defend you, as well as someone to laugh with. Today, you are not only gaining a stepmother, you are gaining a grandfather, 2 uncles, 3 aunts, and 9 cousins who will welcome you into the family with open arms. I want to share a story. The title of the story is When I Knew I Loved You. Hugh, you took me down a ski trail that was far too advanced for me. When you realized I was panicked, you had me sit down. You sat down in front of me and proceeded to slide down the mountain. I was terrified. We were going way too fast. You would stop suddenly to reassure me that you were in control. I repaid your sweetness by clawing you through your coat, choking you with my arm, and blinding you with my hand, and screaming in your ear. When we got to a point where I could ski, you stayed by my side. I was silent. When we got to the bottom of the mountain, I took a deep breath and said, "Now that we're down here, that was pretty funny." And you replied, "Oh, it was funny up there." You have a way of looking at situations that is so honest in your appraisal and so comical in your delivery. You are deeply sensitive and can be so thoughtful. I love how you turn the radio down and speak in hushed tones when you see me falling asleep in the backseat during long car rides. These are the things that make you completely lovable. We have something for you. You can open it later. Elsa. I'd come over there. I was touched by your sweetness the day we went shopping for this wedding gown I'm wearing. My sisters told me that when I was in the dressing room, you said, my father loves Catherine so much, it doesn't matter what she wears. The next day I saw a different side of you, a side that I loved even more, a girl who cracks herself up laughing. In a fit of giggles, you told me that you were trying to think of the tackiest, most awful wedding gift to give us, knowing that we would have to act like we liked it. In order to win your affection as you were dying laughing. Your list of presents included an oversized lawn ornament, such as a sheep. You said you would call it the wedding sheep. You told me that it would mean so much to you if I prominently displayed it on the front lawn. People tell me that one of their favorite things about me is that I crack myself up. I saw that in you and I thought, are we somehow related? We were not then, but we're going to be very shortly. We have something for you. But you have to open it. And she has earrings in here that she'll let you borrow.
Give her a hand, that was beautiful.
Al, the moment I knew I would love you was on our second date. We had a conversation, we stopped talking, and stared into each other's eyes, and the world disappeared. Within a couple of weeks, I had deep feelings for you. There was a song on one of my CDs in my car, and I thought, this is how I feel about Al. I played the song for you and said I wanted to incorporate it into the wedding, and how much it meant to me. You listened to the song very patiently, and I was surprised, because it was an opera. When the song was over, you put your hand on mine, and you said so sweetly, that doesn't really do anything. I get it, and I love you just the way you are. I don't want you to change. But the words are meaningful, so I'm going to sing them in opera now. I'm going to say them to you now. The song is, in my eyes are my secrets that I want to show you. In my heart I feel I've always known you. In your arms there's a comfort that I never knew. You're what I've been waiting for. There's no one like you. You're as sure as the sunrise. My love's as pure as a prayer. You fashioned love right out of thin air. All my dreams I abandoned and said they would come true. I believe in miracles. There's no one like you.
Give her a hand again. Al?
Catherine, you're the love of my life. I've never been happier than I am now, and I can't imagine living life without you. My greatest joy is to spend the rest of my days with you, and I really welcome you into my family with you and Elsa, and I'm looking forward to spending every day in the future with you. I remember falling in love with you when I first met you, on our very first date. And we went right from a drink to dinner, and then we, at the end of the evening, said, how about a date tomorrow night, the second night. So I think we hit it off right away. And I really appreciate everything you do for me. I feel like you're always there for me. Doing the week a year tour that Steve mentioned earlier, even though your seat was pretty sore at the end of every day, you hung in there for the full week of touring. And going to hotels or rustic inns, rustic forms as you refer to them, so that I can do some cross-country ski racing. It just means a lot to me. everything you do means so much to me. I love you.
Give him a hand. So, right now, we're going to do vows to each other. And you guys are going to repeat after me. And I shorten it down so we can do this. So, I, Al, take you, Catherine, to be my wife,
I, Al, take you, Catherine, to be my wife,
my partner in life, and my one true love.
my partner in life, and my one true love.
I will cherish our friendship and love you today, tomorrow, and forever.
I cherish our friendship, and I will love you today, tomorrow, and forever.
I, Catherine,
I,
take
Catherine.
take you, Al. Okay. I, Catherine, take you, Al, to be my husband,
I, Catherine, take you, Al, to be my husband,
my partner in life, and my one true love.
my partner in life, and my one true love.
I will cherish our friendship and love you today, tomorrow, and forever.
I will cherish our friendship and love you today, tomorrow, and forever.
Do you, Al, take Catherine to be your wife?
I do.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish and protect her, forsaking all others and holding only on to her forevermore?
I do.
Catherine, do you take Al to be your husband?
I do.
Do you promise to love, honor, cherish him, protect him, forsaking all others and holding only on to him forever?
I do.
And now we need those rings. And I saw those. Perfect. Now I'll just hang on. There we go. The ring is a symbol of the unbroken circle of love. Love freely given has no beginning and no end. No giver and no receiver. For each is the giver and each is the receiver. May these rings always remind you of the vows you have taken today. And take her ring. And just I'm going to say this thing. I, Al, take thee, Catherine,
I, Al, take thee, Catherine,
to have and to hold in sickness and in health,
to have and to hold in sickness and health,
for richer or poorer,
for richer or for poorer,
in joy and sorrow.
joy and sorrow.
I promise my love to you.
I promise my love to you.
With this ring, I take you as my wife for as long as we both shall live.
With this ring, I take you as my wife for as long as we both shall live.
It fits. I, Catherine, take thee, Al, to be my husband,
I, Catherine, take thee, Al, to be my husband,
to have and to hold in sickness and in health,
to have and to hold in sickness and in health,
for richer or for poorer,
for richer or for poorer,
in joy and sorrow.
in joy and sorrow.
I promise my love to you.
I promise my love to you.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I will take you as my husband
I will take you as my husband,
for long as we both shall live.
for as long as we both shall live.
Just a ring comments. Thank you. since you mentioned I was just looking out at everybody here, and I know we've got the pictures covered, and we've got a video camera and an iPhone going here, but I just want you both to take a look out at everybody here, your friends and your family that are here for you on your wedding day. So just like that mental snapshot. Just, oh, good. Okay, back to You know what? I'm feeling, we've had a long winter. I'm feeling like beach, like summer, like, here comes the sun. And I'm feeling kind of beachy. So I'm thinking,
Beach party?
yeah, I'm thinking sand. Yeah, we into sand? We're gonna have a little fun little ceremony. Okay. So I would like. So the rules on this game are that you've got your colors. Your purple. So why don't you come on? Here's your green. Here's yours. Now why don't you come over here? Okay. And then you guys are going to kind of like a 4th grade art project. Okay. So you're gonna.
You can do this.
Okay. We can do this. Okay. So pour a little bit. Okay. Yeah. More. Yeah. We're gonna make striations here. Okay. So that's the name of the game, is that striation thing. Okay. Go ahead. And you guys are going to keep going back and forth. And you go. Yep, and the kids, yep. And you just keep kind of going around robin. Al, Catherine, you and Elsa. Just as these grains of sand can never be separated. Our hope for you today, that you live your lives together, will be longer than it would take to separate each individual grain of sand. And that would take a long time. So, keep going. A little bit more. More than that, yeah. A little more than that, yeah. Let's make a striation. That's nice striations here. All right. So notice you have 2 hues for hues. That's what it is. Young. It's just, yeah. Two hues. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
All right, I'm going for it here.
No, yeah, you keep going. Keep going. Sure. Go yours. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Good job, everybody. Give him a hand. Did you notice who had the last word? No. By the power vested in me in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Al, you may kiss your bride.
invite the families in.
Yeah.
That were
In the corner.
Phyllis, stay with her mom.
Is she with your dad?
Yes.
Table one.
So it's up there, the actual.
Phyllis, stay with my mom.
We're gonna
Yes,
wanna
you'll be
sit
sitting in
in
front of
the arch where we're facing everybody.
So you guys are gonna walk up just like we did to the arch, and then you're gonna sit right around where you were, where you sat last time. Make sure you're
What,
sitting
are we
at
just
the
going
table.
down?
Basically, yeah, it's almost the same thing, except now they have dinner tables, you're all gonna sit at a table. So you guys are gonna act like you're just walking down the aisle again, and then you're gonna sit kind of where you were sitting before.
Yeah, but this one's more fun.
Yeah, this is way more fun.
Yeah, you don't have to be serious. You can dance, you can shake it, so.
You go in?
Almost.
I'll put a one.
We need Elsa.
Elsa's right here.
Perfect. Okay, we're gonna line you up just behind.
So
And then we
they're
need
gonna
Mary.
announce you. They're gonna say, Mary.
And then we need Anne. Perfect.
And then you-
All right, and then
You
we've
guys
got
take a
you.
step up.
And
You
then
can
if
fit
you
everything.
Okay. And then on the caboose, we've got our bride and groom.
All right, wonderful.
So when you guys come in, you guys give a little wave, and then if you want, you can stand as is, and I'll introduce you.
Thank you so much for
guys.
the video. You're doing a great job. You haven't seen anything. I mean, it seems like every time I look up,
All right.
you're there with the camera. I'm sure you got most everything.
All of my pictures are with this great thing.
I love my city.
Thank you so much for doing this, Stephen.
No problem.
Can you make some noise? All right. First off, before we get started, I'd like everybody to recognize we've got our father of the bride, Mr. Frank Cheatham, just over here. So Frank, can you give a little wave to everybody? And we've also got our mother of the groom, Martha, name of everyone else. Martha, have a little wave. Congratulations. Special day. Let's see if we got some music. What do you say, Maestro? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce our niece and nephew of the bride, flower girl Haley Whitman, and ring bearer Braden Shiloh. Let's take it down. I want to introduce our bridal party, but I need something special for the bridal party. Well, what do you got back there? Yeah, man, that'll do it. That'll do it. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our daughter of the groom, Elsa Nierenberg. And let's keep that round of applause going for our sister of the bride, Mary Lynch.
just pause for a moment and look around you and take it all in. So I'm being a sap again. And I'm looking at everybody, and I just want to say thank you so much for coming. You came here for us, and it means so much. Thank you. Yay!
To me, one of the most special parts of this whole wedding and the whole day is spending the evening with all of you. So I really do appreciate all of the friends and family making the trip here. And some of you came from across the country. We really, really appreciate it. So thank you. Enjoy a wonderful evening.
Congratulations to Catherine. And I wanted to start off by saying, when we were growing up, we couldn't have been more different. Catherine was always the princess and the Barbie dolls, and I was always the tomboy. We shared a room which didn't always work out to the best for everyone. But that was to be expected. But I'm so happy that we grew out of that and we became very close as adults. When I started thinking about what I wanted to say to Catherine today, I started thinking about some of the funniest moments, really, in my whole life, has been with Catherine. And some of the laughter that we shared. Some of the stories that I thought were some of the funniest was, when we were little, my father was pretty strict. And at night, if we were in bed, we would start laughing because my father would be yelling at us. And every time he would yell, we would just laugh harder. And we would just be crying, laughing so hard. And then we would get in more trouble, so that was fun. There was a time, there's a skiing theme with Catherine. You're going to learn how to ski, Catherine. This is another skiing story. There was one time when Catherine and I went skiing, and we were laughing so hard that we came upon this ski demo place where they let you borrow the skis for the day and everything. We were laughing so hard that they thought we were drunk and they wouldn't let us. But we hadn't had a drink at all the entire day. And we were trying to convince them that we hadn't been drinking, but they said no. You can't. Then there was my favorite time when Catherine was trying to get me into biking, and she convinced me to buy these stupid pelts like here, Jim, no, all of that. And that day was the worst day of my life. I was falling, and then the last time I fell was in the middle of a busy intersection. I fell right in the middle of the intersection, and I just remember Catherine saying, "What is wrong with you?" And so we had to pick up the bike and move over to the side, and even though I was bleeding all over the place, we laughed for about 10 more minutes. We went skydiving once, and after we went skydiving, we decided to call my father after we had gone skydiving to talk us out of it. And Catherine was laughing so hard, he didn't even know what we were saying. So I appreciate that. These are just a few of my favorite memories, and today is just one more. A girls' night out for Catherine a few weeks ago. It was a small group of people, and we had everybody write down what they loved about Catherine, and there was a common theme. One, she loves cake. She's a great storyteller. She's goofy, she's smart, and she's a great friend and sister. So I just wanted to say, Catherine, I admire you so much. You are a beautiful, strong, intelligent, self-sufficient woman. You worked hard your entire life, and you've never complained about your circumstances, no matter what they were. When you didn't like them, you changed them, and you knew it was up to you to do that. And I'm just happy that you found Al at the best time of your life, because you were in such a good place, and you were really ready to meet the love of your life. And I'm happy that you met Al. First, I want to thank your family in entirety for welcoming Catherine into your family with open arms. From the first time she met your family, she felt welcomed and loved, and that's so important to her. And I did want to share a couple of things that I love about Al. Al, I love that you wanted Catherine to have this wonderful day. I love that you didn't want her to wear makeup. I love that you recycled the wrapping paper that I brought you Christmas Eve. Even though Catherine was upset, there was glitter all over the place. I love that you cleaned out your cabinets for Catherine to have room for her things. I love that you agreed to turn the heat up to a reasonable level. I love that you agreed to get a new wedding band, even though you had a perfectly good one available. I love that last night, Catherine, for the very first time, she's been the complete opposite of a bridezilla the entire time. She's been so great. The last night she was a little bit on edge. We were at the mall, and Al was trying to find her, and she was getting upset with him. And when she went to the car, he just started making her laugh. She instantly was not upset anymore, and she came back with the biggest smile on her face, and she said, he just laughed at me, and then I had to laugh. And so I appreciate that. So Al, you really came into Catherine's time at the right time of her life, and I'm so happy. You're also an intelligent, handsome, caring, loving person, and we welcome you with open arms into our family.
It's so great that we're all here. I really don't have much to say. From the very first time that I went on a bike ride with my dad and Catherine, to every time I've gone biking and hiking and skiing and all sorts of outdoor activities with them since, Catherine's become more and more a part of our family, and it's so great to finally welcome her to our family. Congratulations to both of them. It's amazing to see how happy they make each other.
These candidates were all amazing, and I began to wonder just how is Al doing this? He once explained to me the intricacies of speed dating and eHarmony. But suffice it to say that Starbucks, or whichever is Boston's equivalent coffee shop, made a killing on Al. He would typically arrange to meet up with a new prospect every 10 minutes, lasting for an hour, sometimes two. How Al managed this demanding schedule with no overlaps, I'll never know. Clearly, Al can be commended on his persistence, but he also showed a genius for math. It was through a methodic approach to dating that he had succeeded. This approach employed two very important mathematical principles. The law of large numbers and pre-screening of candidates to assure a high probability match. Like I said, I don't know the intricacies of the actual coffee shop dates, but I can only guess that they would cover topics like raising chickens,
appreciating the outdoors, recycling, and, by the way, what temperature do you keep your thermostat? We all are gathered here thanks to Al's mathematical prowess and Catherine's ability to live with Al. It's obviously not a coincidence that this mathematically assisted wedding is being held on my day, which, although not an official holiday, is recognized by most math geeks. Perhaps what is a coincidence is that Al is exactly twice the age he was at his first wedding. Catherine, I didn't mean to ignore you. Your role in the equation is obviously more important than Al's. As you no doubt are aware that marriage is a balance, and that is the key to a happy existence. And as I see it, your marriage will rely at least as much on your emotional intelligence as Al's aptitude for math. May your marriage be happy.
Round of applause for Jason.
I hope everybody in the back room can hear me. Let me say that as I thought about what to say this evening for Al, it required quite some mental calisthenics. First, it needed a lot of stretching through the memory banks to think back over 35 years of friendship. Sort of like going through the attic looking for vinyl LPs. And then after that, it was jumping over an awful lot of memories from an impetuous youth that I didn't think would play very well to the over 50 crowd that we've all become. Nor do I think they would be appreciated by Catherine. They may give her a little pause at this point. So between now what I remember and what was appropriate, I'm left with a very short speech. Congratulations. Seriously, you can't get rid of me that easily. If I could ask folks in the far room, I'm happy to come out so that folks can maybe hear me. If folks can quiet down, that would be great. Thank you. So there are many of us, Al, particularly at this table who have known you since our days at Howard. And I think I speak for everybody when I say that those really were the happiest days of our lives. And by no short measure, it was because of the friendships that we all formed. And not by coincidence, I think those friendships have only grown stronger over the years. And also not by coincidence, when we do get together, we wind up reliving those days, those stories, the pranks, the jokes, the crazy antics, and then the crazy stuff that only 18, 19, 20-year-old post-pubescent and in some cases prepubescent boys would share. And thankfully there are unfortunately some photos for those, even if there aren't words to describe quite what they were. But when there were words, we had pretty fierce, heated, animated debates that would last many, many hours. Those debates never really had any winner because nobody ever conceded. We mostly just ended them after hours more by exhaustion than anything else. But there were two voices that rose beyond anybody else's in those debates. One was Danny, our resident philosopher, for whom everything would be boiled down to a moral equation of what was right and wrong. And then there was Al, our resident economist, for whom everything would be boiled down to the cost-benefit analysis. And for Al, everything in life could be measured in widgets or units. And for those of you uninitiated, a udel is a unit of utility by which Al can measure anything in its value. And so I never quite understood how many udels Al got going to play hockey at midnight every Sunday. When the rest of us were going to bed, Al would be grabbing his ice skates and his hockey stick to go play every evening every Sunday evening. But I do know, Al, that you got a great number of udels from leading the entire college on these campus-wide cleanups and nature hikes. Because after all, it was quickly after that that Al developed a career and a business model leading business executives on the same kinds of nature hikes and getting paid quite well for it. So, and that really is the unique talent of Al, because he could convince you to do exactly what he wanted, at the same time he was convincing you that it was exactly what you wanted. And I think, Catherine, that that's the secret. That would be the formula for a successful marriage, because you will each get to do what you want while you get to do the desires of the other. And it's also, I think, the secret of Al's wonderful personality. Among all of us, really, the most easygoing, never ruffled, always mild-mannered, judicious, soft-spoken, the most enthusiastic, and really just the most good-natured of us. And so, Catherine, you already know this, most of us in the room know this, but you're marrying somebody very special. And it's really wonderful to bring us all together for this happy occasion. Over 35 years, many of us have been coming together for life's milestones, and all too often these days, we see the full circle of life, and the events that bring us together are more sad than happy. So it's particularly special to come together for a wedding with all of the love and commitment of today, and all of the hope and aspiration for tomorrow. And so we have champagne glasses on the table. And Al, you made one of the pieces earlier, but let me make the first at least to offer a toast to Al and Catherine for a life of love, happiness, and many, many utils.
In 7th grade. Yeah, no kidding. 40 years. Now the temptation when you're surrounded by people who have known your new husband. So Catherine, these are remarks directed to you. You may want to take notes. Not even listening. So people over here. So the temptation when you're surrounded by people who know your husband 35 years, or even 40 years, is to think that maybe you've missed out on something, that there's some cherished part of his past that you'll never know. Let me assure you, you missed nothing. He looked fine in dark hair, he's better looking now. He was skinny as a kid, he looks robust and healthy now. Time deals us all wonderful opportunities. And now I'm going to add, so Al, during the ceremony, there was a reference to a book, which I'm certain you didn't read. There was a line from opera, which I'm positive you never heard. Now I'm going to add a few lines of poetry, which doubtless you have never heard of, and will never know what I'm talking about. But here are a few lines from Leonard Cohen. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything, and that's how the light gets in. What that's about is appreciating the imperfections of people. So this evening is a perfect example of that. What a miserable, crappy day outside. And yet, the rain and gloom outside has accentuated the intimacy of this room and this night. And so we simply need to focus on what is good, on the cracks that let in the light. For 40 years, Al, that has been our relationship. For the guys here, for all of us old friends who have loved you, not just despite your many imperfections, because of them and in celebration of them. So Catherine, welcome to the experience which has been so rich for all of us. Because, Al, we couldn't love you more if you were perfect. So Catherine and Al, I hoist my distance crew mugs.
Is there anybody else that might want to say something to our mind?
I don't agree with the way Obama is handling the whole Israel thing.
A bride and groom, ladies and gentlemen. All right, well, toast has been said, the cake has been cut, dinner's been served.